been talking as we've been in the programming, and he was telling me absolutely something fascinating. Jamal, you knew that this was coming from above because of what?
It was the ricochet off the concrete.
So you saw the bullets literally ricocheting off the concrete?
Yeah.
So you knew they were coming from high?
Yes, I saw the first officer fall. We had just emerged from the Red Museum, walking up Commerce, headed east. There was a parking garage to our left, the Greyhound bus station to our right. As we reached the opening of the entrance of the Greyhound bus station, the first shot rained down. It was obvious it was a high caliber, just by the...
Why do you say that?
The sound itself. It was not a pistol. It was a succinct boom, a few second pause, a succinct boom, and a few second pause, a succinct boom.
And that's when you saw an officer physically go down?
Saw him go down just probably 5 to 10 feet away, right at the edge of the bus station. And so the officer falls. At that point, people begin to disperse. Chaos ensues. The officers are unsure if it's the protesters on the ground shooting at them or what. So they turn their guns towards the protesters. Protesters put their hands up. Everything had been peaceful from the protesters to that point. We break and run, and then after that, there's a succession of probably 15 to 20 different shots, semi-automatic, continuous fire.
Yeah, that's something that we need to point out to people because we're seeing these little clips of video. We've been playing them for our viewers. These were sort of in different periods. Like you mentioned the first round of shots, then there was a period of time where it was silent, then there was another round, it just kept going and going.
That's right. So the total time of the shooting was probably 2 to 3 minutes total from the first shot to the last shot, because the police at some point, probably about 30, 45 seconds into it, began to return fire towards this parking garage behind us. And the protesters were trapped in the middle.
Yeah, and you said that there were people hiding behind a barricade. I mean, you're ducking behind a column. Everyone's literally trying to take cover because you don't know where these shots are coming from.
Exactly. We attempted to hide behind the pillars at the Greyhound bus station. Some people ran and were trapped behind gates around the parking lot. They were too tall for them to climb. And so really, people were trapped.
And you said that the pandemonium really set in when the crowd saw those bullets ricocheting up off the concrete, and you could physically hear it on the pavement?
You could hear it. And, couldn't see the sparks themselves, but the sound off the concrete was very distinct. And you knew for a fact that those were shots coming from above, and that it wasn't anyone on the ground.
So are the police just in panic mode at that point as well?
After that first shot rang, it took about, I'd say 3 to 4 seconds for them to even realize what had just taken place, because the police had been with us the entire route of the march. And so they had been on the left, they had us flanked, they were surrounding. So they weren't expecting those shots to ring out. And so we, as protesters, actually directed them towards where those shots were coming from, because they didn't know in the moment.
How many people would you estimate were out here? You said you were out here for the duration of this rally tonight?
That's correct. I was there from the beginning, and it started off with probably about 500 to 600, and I'd say we got up to probably 1,250 up to 1,500 total.
And everything very peaceful. I mean, you guys were just about finished. You're making your way back up to where you started, and everybody was going to call it a night, and then this.
We had just had almost a prayer session down at the Red Museum. Extremely peaceful. I saw not one altercation or any police on protester involvement. So everything was nice. We were wrapping up, walking back to the Beloff Garden to reconvene and disperse. So that what leads me to believe that it was definitely a planned, intentional attack, just based off of the timeline and how it happened.
Jamal, tell me, what is it? I mean, we've had the incident in Louisiana this week. We've had the incident in Minneapolis, and it just seems that the tensions and everything is bubbling over.
Extremely so. What happened this week was tragedy. It's actually what brought me out to come together and unify and begin to organize, not against the police, but with the police as well. Because we as protesters aren't for violence. We aren't looking to harm any officers. So our hearts go out to the officers who were shot and who lost their lives tonight. The movement isn't about us against them. It's about all of us coming together.
Absolutely. Hey, man, absolute pleasure. Jamal, thank you so much for taking time out. I mean, that that's a pretty incredible account.